my name is Caleb, and today I am interviewing Pastor Patricia for the Central Southern Illinois Synod's Gifted for Ministry project. Why are you a pastor?
I'm a pastor because I love telling people about God and His love and His mercy, His forgiveness. I think it's wonderful what God's done for us, and I like to share it with other people.
When did you realize that God was calling you to be a pastor?
I realized God was calling me to be a pastor. Well, let me back up. I always thought God was calling me to be a pastor's wife. And I kept thinking I was going to grow up and I was going to marry somebody and I was going to be a pastor's wife. And I was in my 30s and I didn't have a husband, and I'm going, God, if you expect me to be a pastor's wife, you've got to supply the pastor here. And it dawned on me that the reason there wasn't the husband was because God was calling me. And so I'm looking around the church going, I've done everything else in the church. I've been the Sunday school director. I've taught Sunday school. I've been on council. I've done all these things. The only thing I haven't done is preached. And it was like God said, bingo. And I'm like, no.
How did you know?
Well, that's how I knew that God had kind of led me through everything else, and the only thing I hadn't done was preach, and I was like, He's kind of warmed me up for this. Yeah, and once I realized that, I wasn't going to get a husband that was going to be a pastor, and He had taught me how to do everything else,
When was the first time you realized church was important to you?
I think church was always important to me. We went to church every Sunday morning, and it was where God was, and it was just neat to be in a place where God was. I like being close to God.
How were you involved in church before you were a pastor?
Kind of like you. My parents made sure I was involved in the Sunday school program for Christmas. I had parts from the time I was a little girl all the way up, through all my Sunday school years. I was in the Christmas program, and if there was an Easter program, and we always went to Sunday school and vacation Bible school and all that stuff. And so we were always involved in church, so it was always a part of our lives. I don't know what I would have done without it.
Besides leading worship, what do you like most about being a pastor?
I bet you can guess the answer to that question. My favorite part of church is being able to be a part of the lives of the children of the congregation. I just absolutely love the kids in the congregation. I love watching them grow.
What are you most hopeful for?
I'm most hopeful that I have watched the children grow and change. And my first congregation, I'm hearing of those children growing up and now being on council. And so it's really neat to know that they've grown and started taking leadership roles in the church. And so I'm hoping that that's going to happen in the other congregations I've been in, and that the church will continue to grow and to change as the children of today continue to make themselves a part of the congregations and put their stamp on it.